David Kaplan of Amherst is a car buff, and one car in particular.
One of my cars, I have the license plate that's called Tribute. These cars are a tribute to my grandfather. This is my grandfather driving the prototype. This is the first car that they ever built.
They called it Playboy. David's grandfather, Lou Horwitz, was company president. He had two partners. The car held 3 passengers, had 4 cylinders, put out 40 horsepower, an economy car in 1947.
Having a good time and is really proud of the car and everything. You're talking about a time people were just coming back from the war. Cars were not available, or they were just starting to make them again, and they came up with an idea that was, unfortunately, it was a great idea, but it was about 10 to 20 years ahead of its time. Something that's going to get you good gas mileage and get you going where you need to go, and it's fun to drive.
They built the Playboy in a garage at 988 Ellicott Street, but they needed more space. What is now the American Axle plant on Kenmore Avenue was available.
And they moved into that plant January of 1949 until they declared bankruptcy, which was in June of 49.
David has been collecting the cars for 2 decades now. A friend stores them in garages in West Seneca.
These are cars that I've purchased over the years. 2 of the 3 that you see in this garage do run, and I have not driven them in a little while, but they are running automobiles and have driven them. In our other garage over here, we have the last car that they ever produced. It has never been finished. It's in its original primer. The engine is in there. One of these days, it will be the last Playboy produced. Will be running and on the road.
The Playboy car was built in Buffalo, New York.
Ed Howard of Orange County, California owns a Playboy.
The Playboy is by far the rarest car that I have owned.
Dave Kaplan, meanwhile, has his grandfather's voice from a radio interview in 1947.
First of all, Mr. Horwitz, what is the name of this new car, Playboy?
A great feeling just to hear his voice and hear everything back from those days.
So, what happened to the Playboy? Well, it went the way of so many startup car companies right after the war. The Tucker was one of them. Many car buffs say the big 3 automakers caused Tucker's demise by creating false rumors about its financial condition. Like Tucker, Playboy tried to sell stock to raise cash for production.
But at that point in time, it was too late for a lot of the car companies because Tucker had lost everything and my grandfather lost everything at that point in time too. It took a lot out of him. He poured his whole life into it. He poured all his life savings into it. It really took its toll on him.
In case you're wondering if this Playboy had any connection to this one, the answer is yes. Founder Hugh Hefner has written that he got the name Playboy from a tiny car company in the city of Buffalo, a company whose president was David Kaplan's grandfather.
These cars are a tribute to my grandfather. His dream will never die, and I will pass it down through my kids and keep his dream alive.
Rich Kelman, Channel 2 News Tonight.